We're recording? Yeah, we're recording. What's up guys, my name is Dylan Hargreaves and you're watching DRH Visuals. Today we're going to be editing some cinematic looking photos. So if you want your photos to look really cinematic, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it. Even if your photos are taken at midday or like super bad lighting, you can still make them look cinematic. And if they're too dark and you're getting grain, who cares? Don't worry about grain. You can still make them cinematic with the grain. So if you guys enjoy the video, smash that like button. Please, I'll really appreciate it if you guys subscribe. And if you need to know anything, just drop a comment down below and I'll reply. So yeah, let's jump into the computer and let's start editing. Okay guys, so now we're in Lightroom and this type of photo is going to be very easy to edit. This is a photo of my friend Connor. You guys can check out his Instagram, it's linked below. Pretty cool dude. Anyway, this photo is pretty easy to edit because it's just like everything is just set up so nicely. It was shot at ISO 640 with a 50mm and it's f1.8 and it's 1/250 seconds. So that was the settings I used. It was pretty dark on the day that I took this because it was very cloudy. But yeah, to edit this picture is very simple. Now I'm gonna quickly just stop right here and tell you guys that I do have a preset pack that I'm selling. So if you guys would like to buy the preset pack and get really cinematic pictures, just like right off the bat, like look at that, all cinematic. This is my favorite one to edit this photo to a level where I could be happy to post it. There we go. Now I would post it just like that. So if you guys are interested in buying the preset pack, there is a link in the description. You guys can go ahead and buy it. There are some dark ones like this one. You just bring up the ISO and it's a lot better. Okay, so basically, to get this kind of picture without using the preset pack, because I know some of you are going to be like, I don't want to buy a preset pack, I want to do it myself. That's great, that's how I do it. So if you guys want to do that, that's perfect. What I would do for a picture like this, first of all, would be increase the ISO to a point where the picture is usable. So you can see that it's usable now, you can see his eyes and it's clear in the background, it's not too grainy. Yeah, no one's going to zoom in that far on your picture. Okay, so then I would bring up the contrast a little bit just to bring out some of the details. And then I would drop down the highlights like a lot so that you can keep that detail in the background so you get that orange and everything. Then you want to bring up the shadows just so you can see them a little bit more clear, like that. There you go, that's about right. And then you can modify the white and the blacks, but I don't usually use these values unless I want to add extra contrast because that's all that they really do. Now you can add your blue tint or your orange tint, whichever you guys want to use. Like I usually go for a more warm kind of vibe, so I'll probably put some more orange, maybe a little bit of purple. Like that should be good enough. Alright, and then this is where the magic happens, the tone curve. Now usually with my photos I add an S curve, so I'll just click here and here. I'll drag down there, up on here, and then I'll drag the top part down to get some fade. Just want to correct this a little bit. That's better. And then to get the fade in the picture itself, you want to bring this bottom part up. So you can see how it's changed the background already. Like it's got that whole grey matte feel, which is what you want to get your photo to look cinematic. So then you close that and you can already see it's cinematic. Like I would be happy to post this. But there are other options like the color options which can really enhance your photo. So for this one I think I'm going to go for the whole teal and orange vibe, so you just bring that down to about there, take the desaturation a little bit down, maybe the luminance down. Then this one here, the aqua, I usually change right to the end of the blues just to kind of desaturate it, because if you leave it over here you can see it got a more vibrant effect, and I kind of like that whole desaturated vibe. So I usually do that, and then I put up the luminance a little bit. Now the greens I'm going to make yellow, completely yellow. The yellows I'm going to make more orange. Isn't really doing much at the moment, but that's what I'm going for. Maybe drop down the luminance a little bit. You can see it's affected the hair areas. And then the orange you can put towards the red, just a little bit, like there, and then maybe drop down the luminance a little bit just to bring out some detail. So you can see just that alone has changed the picture completely. I much prefer it like that. Now split toning, I usually add orange to the highlights and blue to the shadows, but it depends on the image, you might want to switch that around. So then you usually bring that up to about there, that's already looking good. And then the blues, you can see that I don't really like that look, so let's switch it around to the shadows being orange and the blue in the highlights. That's much nicer. I much prefer that. So that's what I'm going for. Detail, you can get rid of some of the noise because there is a little bit of grain in the photo, so you can like pop that up to about there, and then it'll reduce most of the grain. Maybe a little bit more. So now when you zoom out, the picture is a lot smoother, and that's how they get those really clear pictures on Instagram. But I'm kind of into the whole grainy look, so I'm gonna put that about there because I don't know, it just gives the picture some texture. Now you can go to calibration and you can modify the values here. So I'm going to go for more of a greeny vibe because of the teal. Go more towards the orange over here. And then here I'm going to go to the yellows. And here I'm going to go towards teal. Just like that. And then that is also like a very strong impact point for the photo. So that's how you edit this picture. So this picture is done now. Now we're gonna modify a little bit more difficult of a file. So this is a picture that my sister took of me the other day, and it was in midday. The picture was not so nice. 100 ISO. You can see it's so bright even for 100 ISO. So I'm just gonna show you guys how you can edit that quickly. And again, jumping in one more time, you can use a preset that I will have linked down below, and you can get pretty good results. I mean, look at that. That's pretty damn cinematic already. Now you just need to drop down the blues, and it's a whole new ball pit. But if you do not want to use the preset pack, then that's fine. I'm going to show you guys how to do it manually. So first thing you want to do is get it into a mode where you can post on Instagram, because no one's going to be posting with a photo this wide. So what you want to do is go to aspect ratio. Once you've clicked on crop, go here to where it says original. You can either use 4x5, which would leave you with this kind of photo, or for me in this specific photo, I'm going to go for like a body chopped off and more of an upward shot, and I'm going to cut it about there. So now I can drop down the ISO because it's a very bright image, bring down the highlights, bring up the shadows a little bit. Then I want to bring up the contrast like that, and I want to go for an orangey vibe, just a little bit of orange. Okay, now I want to drop down the saturation because it's a very bright image taken midday. Alright, and that's pretty much all you're going to do with that. Now you're going to go tone curve and just do a normal S curve as usual. Bring the fade, top fade down. That just changes the blues, and the bottom fade up like that. Alright. Then you're going to go to the color. Now the color is a big deal in this specific image because everything is so green and everything is blue, and yeah, that's just not cinematic. So you want to take the greens, make them yellow, bring down the saturation and the luminance. Then you're going to go to the yellow and make it orange, or too orange, just like that wintry vibe, you know. Drop down the luminance. Orange, you're going to make a little bit red just to keep that whole ball rolling, because otherwise you've got the yellows and oranges, and the oranges are oranges. You really don't need that. So now you're going to bring the teal this side, and you're going to push it up in the luminance, and you're going to drop the saturation. And that's about it for now. What you're going to do is close that, split toning, put some orange in there, shadows, some blue. We've got a pretty cinematic looking image already. Then you can go to calibration, maybe add some green, maybe purple. Purple looks better. Go to the orange. The orange is going to pump the greens a little bit, so you're going to want to go to the pink. Then you go to the yellow. Nope, also affecting the greens. So you kind of want to go with the option that's going to get rid of the color that you're trying to get rid of. So you see the green in the background there. We don't want the green there. It's too vibrant for this image. If you want a cinematic picture, you can't have a vibrant cinematic picture unless it's like neon lights and stuff like that. But that's pretty good for this image. Like if this I would be willing to post on Instagram. Maybe for some extra effect, I might add a filter over myself like that, and maybe drop the highlights in the background a lot. ISO maybe. Turn that off, and you can see it's just dampened the image in the background and brought me out a bit more. So that picture's okay, we could post that. It's like, considering the picture came from midday, it definitely looks a lot more cinematic. Now the last image we're going to be editing is this one. This is already using a preset that I've used from one of these. I think it was this one. Okay, so you can see most of the presets work. There we go, that's the preset that I used for the specific photo. So now I'm just going to reset it, and you can see that's the image. And first thing again, I'm going to crop it down to a 1:1 ratio and just get it so it's nice and centered. Now with this crop, I'm paying attention to the sides here, like there and there. I want that to be equal lengths apart, so you just do that and then it's done. Now you can see that this photo is pretty grainy. It was shot at 3200 ISO. Like, this is pretty good considering it's 3200 ISO. Like, this is a very usable image. And it's also using an 18 to 55mm kit lens, which is like, wow. Alright, so this is stock image. You can see it hasn't had any work done to it. Yeah, so first things first, let's go drop the highlights, bring up the shadows. The ISO doesn't need to do anything because it's dark enough. Whites can come up a little bit just to add some contrast. So a little bit of contrast, we don't want too much contrast. Put the contrast up to about 6, yeah, that's good enough. Alright, then you leave that alone. Now you go tone curve, small S-curve, very, very slight. Because you don't want to completely wash out the image with the black, like it's not going to be usable. You're going to bring down the fade. You can see how it's affecting the sky. And then you're going to bring up the fade on the bottom of the S-curve, just like that. So you can see most of the grain disappears when you do this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to color, and I think I'm going to go for a deep blue in this one. So drop the luminance, drop the saturation, aqua blues, make them all the way onto the end, drop the saturation, drop the luminance. There are no greens. Then you go to the yellows, maybe make them a little bit more orange. Get that whole New York vibe going. And there we go. Now this is like already pretty good, like I could post that without a problem. It's actually really good detail. Like, I don't know, most people don't like grain, but for this picture it just kind of works. It's got that whole texture to it, you know. So I don't think I would get rid of the grain, maybe a little bit, maybe just dampen just slightly. You could probably completely get rid of the grain if you went to say something like that. Now you don't even notice any grain, but I like that whole grainy vibe, so I'm going to leave it there. And then calibration, if you go towards the purple, it will deepen the blues, which is the effect that I'm going for. Got some orange in there. Pump the yellows, and then we're going to go towards this side of the blues, even though it's going to counteract the whole deep blue thing. It just gives it a nice color. Now there's one more thing that I want to do. I want to bring up the shadows just slightly, and that's it. So I've shown you 3 images. One was very easy to edit, very, very easy. One was slightly more difficult to edit, but we can still make a cinematic image out of a midday photo. Like, it is doable. And then the last image was grainy and it's cinematic, so it doesn't matter what photos you're using. You can make a cinematic photo out of pretty much anything, but it does make a difference, I guess. If you are shooting, maybe pay attention to the fact that you want a cinematic photo. Okay, so the point of this video was to show you guys that you can make a cinematic photo out of pretty much anything. It doesn't matter if your photo is grainy, it doesn't matter if your photo is at midday, it doesn't matter if your photo is perfect. You can make your photo cinematic. It's just a matter of how you edit it and what colors you use. So anything can be cinematic. I know why I made this. Okay, the reason why I made this video was because I was making photos and I was trying to get the cinematic effect and I couldn't get it because it just didn't work for me. I was watching tutorials where they show you how to make cinematic photos and they use the most perfect images, and you're like, well, I don't have images like that. Like, I haven't taken any like that. How do I get mine to look like that if I don't have photos like that? You know, it gets frustrating and you get put off and you're like, well, you know, I'm just not going to do it. And then I discovered how to do it and I was so stoked, and yeah, now I'm just sharing that with you guys. I figured maybe share an amateur tip that an amateur figured out with amateurs who are watching. So yeah, we're all learning together. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button, please subscribe, I'll really appreciate it, and hit me up in the comments if you guys want to know anything. Also, I'm plugging my Instagram. Please guys, follow me, DRH Visuals. My account is blocked at the moment because Instagram is being a jackass, You guys can watch the video link below about Instagram algorithms and everything with Instagram's new policies and shit, all the people that they're banning and all that crap. They shadow banned me, by the way. So if you haven't seen that video, link in the description. You guys can see why I'm banned. Yeah, I didn't actually do anything wrong, so I'm not an asshole or anything. But yeah, please guys, follow me. I'm trying to get my numbers up. I've dropped a whole lot of followers because of the fact that they are banning me and I can't post anything. I haven't been able to post for about a week now, and I can't post again until the 1st of October. So yeah, enough of the pity stories. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.